I've got 2 tweets for you that explain the entire FTX situation perfectly. And if you're a fan of Ripple Labs XRP, I've got juicy good news for you. Yep, the FTX mess cannot slow down the freight train that's Ripple Labs XRP. Hanging out in my future son-in-law's PC room. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on you. You better take care of my daughter and my brand new grandchild. Grandpa Klaus here, keeping shit in check. All right, Bitcoin right now sitting at 16,645. ETH 1205. Still lots of pain and uncertainty in the market as we unravel the mess of FTX. And I have two tweets for you that sum up the entire thing. Here's a tweet from Sam Bankman-Fried. Roughly 25% of customer assets were withdrawn each day, 4 billion. As it turned out, I was wrong. Leverage wasn't 5 billion, it was 13 billion. 13 billion leverage, total run on the bank, total collapse in asset value all at once, which is why you don't want that leverage. Oh, that's a liar. It wasn't a bank run, everyone. First there was stealing, then there was a bank run once we found out that they were stealing. Here is a tweet in reply by chainlinkgod.eth. This explanation doesn't make any sense. Per FTX's own terms of service, customer assets on FTX belong to the customers. So why were they taken and given to Alameda? This wasn't an excessive leverage problem. This was a stolen user funds problem. That's right. He gave $10 billion worth of customer assets to Alameda. Now, per the terms agreement, like they said, hey, those assets belong to you. So why were they leveraging them? So when Sam Bankman-Fried is like, oh, there was a cash run, girlfriend, you were stealing from your customers, giving it to your F-buddy out there. Oh, and I've got more juicy goodness for you because the FTX bankruptcy, we're starting to get a little bit more juicy deeds. I've got a quote for you, and here is the person taking over the company from Sam Bankman-Fried. Ironically, this is the same guy that was in charge of Enron's bankruptcy. So he's got plenty of experience, huh? Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information as occurred here, Ray wrote in the court filing. From compromised system integrities, faulty regulatory oversight brought to the concentration of control in the hands of a very small group of inexperienced, unsophisticated, and potentially compromised individuals. This situation is unprecedented. Now, mind you, this comes from the person that tackled the Enron bankruptcy. He continues to say, continuing in the filing, Ray commented that he did not have confidence in the accuracy of the company's balance sheets and its sister company, Alameda Research, which were reported to have extremely close ties. He wrote that they were unaudited and produced while Sam Bankman-Fried was in control and therefore probably incorrect. So this amazing genius out there, right? This trading god, this crypto legend out there who's so smart. First, let's pretend, okay? How the hell, as a CEO, do you not know how much leverage do you have? As a CEO, you're telling me now that we're finding out that the books were totally messed up, you had bespoke software which spoke between two entities moving money back and forth without raising red flags? You're not a genius. You're just a scumbag criminal like the rest of them. Mashinsky, Do Kwon, you get what I'm saying. But let's move on over to something positive. Because the mess of FTX is bad, but the beauty of Ripple still shines. Seattle-based Web3 payment company launches a stablecoin on the XRP ledger. I love the idea of a stablecoin on the ledger. Why? That is exactly what it needs. According to a press release today, Stably USD has become the first USD-backed stablecoin to launch on the XRPL. The move is part of a partnership between Stably and Ripple. It's noteworthy that the stablecoin has been launched on 11 other blockchains. So yes, this is not just a brand new product, but a good established product. The Web3 company is planning to launch Stably on more blockchains soon. Let's get to the answer because I want to read something to you. Since the initial launch of their stablecoin in Ethereum 2018, Stably has been setting new standards for transparency and interoperability in the stablecoin industry. Interesting stat. Users from 200 plus regions and countries worldwide can now mint, redeem Stably easily through a variety of traditional payment methods such as Fedwire, Swift, ACH credit, and debit cards through Stably Ramp, a fiat to stablecoin gateway with low fees and access to emerging juicy blockchains. And if you want to read this press release, you're always welcome to. Why? Because as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. I've got more though. You know I've got more because I want to show you that the mess with FTX is very, very different than some of these other crypto projects out there. And Ripple Labs, they're one of them. One of the good ones, by the way. Ripple to conquer, $156 trillion market. ODL corridors are live for 90% of fund transfer markets, 19 new partnerships. Cross-border payment flows are estimated to reach $156 trillion in 2022. Companies can benefit from faster, cheaper, and more efficient crypto-enabled payments. Why? Because they're using Ripple Labs products, everyone. That's the big benefit to this. Think of all these companies out there that first had to issue funds, right? Pre-settlement funds. So they had to put money ahead of time. That's horrible because that means companies already have to give up some of their usable cash flow to pre-fund this stuff. But now you don't need that because the fund transfer is almost instantaneous and secured. How comfortable would you be as a company? Let's say you got to send a $200 million payment to a partner out there. You know, you just signed this new deal and all that. You want to send some ACH. What if it takes a few days? How comfortable are you going to feel with a few $100s floating around for a few days? Now, wire transfers, they're still not that fast, guys. But if you use Ripple Labs ODL, it's going to get there in a matter of a few seconds, isn't it? Think of the comfort that businesses are going to feel moving large quantities of money like that, which is traceable, it's secure, and very low cost compared to previous methods. But I've got even more, and here's the tweet for you. You can read even more about the evolution of on-demand liquidity with their tweet from Ripple Labs. But I do have something I want to share with you regarding the court case, and it's kind of not good, okay? So let's just get through this. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. The United States Court here in the SEC Commission versus Ripple Labs has approved the filing of 16 total amicus curiae briefs by non-party entities, some of them supporting the SEC and some of them supporting XRP. Now, XRP has quite a bit of support in this case, but what I want to focus on is another company that came to back the SEC. The New Sports Economy Institute wrote in its proposed brief that crypto is like a chameleon, engaging in regulatory arbitrage, branding itself as an asset when it wants to attract capital and appeal to investors, but as a currency when it wants to face regulatory scrutiny. Those investing in these assets need the protection of the Securities Act. Here's the problem, though. The problem is summary judgment was awarded to the SEC versus LBRY. And let me read a little of that for you here. The court granted the SEC summary judgment application against the project, saying that LBRY had made no secret in its communication with potential investors that expected to grow in its value through its managerial and entrepreneurial effects, and that no reasonable true or fact could reject the SEC's contention that LBRY offered LBC as a security, and LBRY does not have a triable defense, and it lacked fair notice. The problem that they're bringing up here is they are saying that LBRY held a bunch of those tokens themselves. Very similar to Ripple Labs, very similar to Stellar Development. The scary part here is if the courts look at this, right, look at this precedent and start applying some of this precedent to the case, that would fall very badly in the lap of Ripple Labs XRP. Now, do I believe there will be a summary judgment in favor of Ripple Labs? No, I don't, because I think the SEC, especially with what happened with LBRY, that's not going to be allowed. Now, do I think the SEC has a summary judgment that they could win against Ripple Labs at this point? No, I don't believe so either, because when we look at ODL, and that's why I brought that up in the beginning, ODL has nothing to do with making money, does it? No, it's a money transfer service, and that's not a security, Gary Gensler. So no, there wasn't a cash run that started the whole FTX mess. What happened was he stole $10 billion a year funds and gave it to his F-buddy over at Alameda, which, by the way, that's public knowledge. They admitted that, so you better watch it, YouTube. I'm citing facts. The amazing thing here, though, is that the narrative from mainstream media is out there trying to spin it as if there was a cash run and Sam Bankman-Fried was just caught in the crosshairs of something that he couldn't manage. He was in charge of a company that did not even know how heavily they were leveraged. Does that make any sense whatsoever? When I was a corporate guy, I could tell you to the T all of my finances as things were going on. I could tell you about all my operational reports, my service level agreements. We had Salesforce interactive dashboards, which was only delayed by 3 seconds. Yeah, that's how delayed their server was from actual live data. So when I was in charge of stuff, guess what? I had accurate data. I wasn't using excuses like Sam Bankman-Fried. And what's cool is with the FTX situation completely imploding, the good part is that Ripple Labs is penning new partnerships. pips, expanding its ODL quarter. Now, the ODL quarter for me personally is extremely important because I think that is a big proving point, okay, against the case with the SEC saying, hey, the majority of the movement of XRP out there is now coming from this ODL quarter. We're seeing so many more people using this pathway to move money. That's not a security. That's just a way of creating a faster settlement that the banks can't provide you right now. And we know Gary Gensler is running protection for the banks, trying to suppress the benefits of Web3 and crypto technology. Remember, it's not about the price, everyone. It's about the building and use case. And people want to partner with Ripple Labs, just like we're seeing with companies like Stellar as well. So, crypto contagion spreading? Yes, but our favorite cryptos out there are still penning new deals day after day. Let me know what you think down below about Sam Bankman-Fried and his gross group of friends that, oh my gosh, as the more details come out, they are disgusting. Thank you again for watching. Check out this cool crypto Web3 video right here in the glare of the window behind me. Have a great rest of your day.